Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do an introduction or repeat an introduction to the tax sale process for Clayton County, Georgia. If you're not familiar with Metro Atlanta, Clayton County, Georgia borders Fulton County, Georgia. And as we know, or you should know, Fulton County, Georgia is home of Atlanta, Georgia. So Clayton County will be considered one of the suburbs of Fulton County. And the Atlanta-Jackson Hartsfield International Airport is located in Clayton County. So it's a nice area. It's not too far from Atlanta. So if you're interested in a tax sale that's one, not as busy, two, it doesn't have as many properties as say Fulton County, but the information that they provide is a lot more detailed on the front end, which saves you some time as far as doing your research. So consider Clayton County, Georgia. I'm really only familiar with Fulton County and Clayton County. Those are the two auctions that I attend and purchase properties at. One of the things that I love about Clayton County is they will publish more than 1 month at a time if they have properties that are going to be auctioned off over the next couple of months. So if you notice, they've already published February as well as March 2025. I love that about Clayton County. I feel like smaller counties have more leeway to do things like that. So if they know that they have properties that are going up for the tax sale or the auction in February as well as March, the list is already there. So that gives you 2 months to do your research and be prepared for the auction. So let's look at the auction for February 2025. As you notice, the date is February 4th. That is the date of the actual auction. It will be held on the courthouse steps. The rule for an auction, or a tax sale, I should say, in Georgia is it has to occur on the first Tuesday of the month if there is an auction, and it is held by the sheriff for that particular county. So the February auction again is February 4th, 2025 on the courthouse steps of Clayton County. Clayton County gives you the parcel ID as well as the current owner's name. They'll give you the address or whatever information they have related to the location of the property, because some of these properties are just land. There's never been a building on the land or a structure on the land, so it wouldn't actually have an address usually. Let me say it that way. Then it also provides the years of the back taxes. It gives you a fair market value, but I say do your own due diligence with that, because the county isn't always current and up to date as far as today's value for properties. So you'd have to do your own research. And please remember, I'm not giving you tax, investing, accounting, financial, or legal advice. So do your own due diligence. But the fair market value that the county provides is how they're valuing the property today. But again, do your own research. And then the cry out bid. So one thing, or I should say another thing that I love about Clayton County is it gives you the opening bid. Whereas with Fulton County, you have to do research, go through the newspaper to find that information. Clayton County gives it to you up front. But again, you won't have as many properties available for auction as compared to Fulton County, because Clayton County is a smaller county, but there will be fewer people at the auction, which means less competition. But also keep in mind that a lot of the properties that you see on the list, the owner will pay their taxes before the auction. And that's what we want, or at least that's what I want. I want the owners to be able to retain their properties. I'm all for that. But in the event that they cannot, or in the event that this is property owned by an investment group or an investor and not someone's principal homestead or main home, I'm all for them paying their taxes. That's what we want, okay? So again, the cry out bid is the starting bid for the property, and then it either stays there if you're the only bidder, or it's going to go up from there. And you increase your bid based on how you want to go up on your bid. You can go up $50, $100, $1,000. I've been at some auctions where if it's a hot property, the person you're bidding against may go up $10,000 each bid. So they're letting you know, we want this property, back on out of this, move on to the next one. So just be prepared for that. So I'm going to look up the first property on the list, and that is 11075 Cornerstone Way. So you can either look it up by parcel ID, which is the second column. You can look it up by owner name. You can look it up by property address or property location. So I'm going to do property location. So depending on your browser, I can just hit the back key. It brings me back to this screen. It will close or leave open in a separate tab the actual tax sale list of properties, so I can go back. If not, you have to just go back into the Clayton County website, go to the tax assessor, look for real property search. So this is what we'll use to look up properties, and the county gives you a lot of information about all of the properties in the county. So I like to search by address or location. It's completely up to you how you search. And again, the searching is a lot simpler with Clayton County. With these smaller counties, it's more straightforward. With Fulton County, sometimes you have to dig. You have to hunt. You may not be able to pull it up by parcel ID. You might not be able to pull it up by name. You might not be able to pull it up by address. So you just have to figure out how to work that system to get the information that you're looking for. So here I typed in the address, and it shows the address at the bottom or the middle section, the address and owner name, as well as the parcel ID, so I can compare that back to the tax list to ensure that I'm looking at the right property. So now that I have the property pulled up, what I do is I scroll down and I just look at various information. What type of property is it? Is it a residential lot? Then I look to see what is the size of the lot as far as square footage. Also, something to note, in the middle of the screen, you see levy canceled. What that tells me, and again, I'm no expert, is that the property taxes have been paid, that they have been caught up. That's what that tells me, that this sale will be canceled. And you can call the county office and ask if that property is going to go up for auction, and usually they'll be able to tell you. If not, you just have to show up and find out for yourself. One of my biggest suggestions is to just play around with the menus on the left and to go through those and see what information is provided to you. You can look at the tax assessor summary. Click on commercial to see if this is a commercial property. Click on residential. Look at miscellaneous structures. Look at a sketch. If that's available, that will pop up. The most important thing to me, though, is pictometry. So if you look at the pictometry for this particular property, you notice it is a house. It's in a fairly new neighborhood. So what that tells me from my own personal experience is that the reason the levy is canceled is because either the homeowner paid the taxes or the bank paid the taxes. But based on the newness of this subdivision and these homes, I can assume that there's a mortgage on this property. So if the property does go to auction, then you'll be bidding against the bank that holds that first note, that holds that mortgage, or even if there's a second mortgage. But either way, you'll be bidding against a bank. So just keep that in mind. You could do further research. Actually, you probably have to pay someone to do research to see if there are any liens on this property. I personally don't know how to do that. I have someone that does them for me, and they do it on the side, so they've never given their permission for me to share their information. So you just have to find someone who could do the research and let you know, are there any existing liens. So for a tax sale in Georgia, and Texas is the same way, depending on if it's judicial versus non-judicial. So going back to Fulton County, that's the one thing I do like about the auctions in Fulton County, is they separate their tax sale list by judicial and non-judicial. So non-judicial means that generally all liens are wiped out once you buy the property at the tax sale. A judicial property or judicial foreclosure usually means, you see I'm using these words usually means that when you purchase the property at the tax sale, you assume all existing liens. So I personally don't buy properties that are judicial tax sales or judicial foreclosures. I focus on non-judicial, so that those existing liens, if there are any, they are wiped out through the tax sale. But again, remember, I'm not giving you investing, legal, financial, or tax advice. You'll have to contact an expert in those areas, someone who is trained in those areas, to get more information. So I'm just giving you my experience and how I go about purchasing properties at a tax sale. So again, just looking at the age of this subdivision, the age of these homes, I'm assuming that there is a bank involved, hence why the levy or the tax sale was canceled for this particular property. But remember, in a smaller county, you can get more information through the employees. So if it's a property that you're interested in, I suggest just call the county and ask those questions. Is this property going to be auctioned off where the tax is paid? And also, you can go through this same tax assessor website for Clayton County. You can do the same thing for Fulton, and you can look to see if a payment has been made. So I didn't include that in this video because I didn't want it to be too long, but you can look that up as well. So thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, please post them below. I keep getting emails with questions, and my response is post your question below the video. That way everyone can see your question and see my response, because at this time I don't have the bandwidth to do one-on-one mentoring, so it has to come through YouTube, my videos, and you asking questions and me responding. So if you enjoyed this video, please like the video, also subscribe to my channel, and happy investing.